Hey guys, here with another episode of Trent Confidential. Got Donnie here. He's 1 week away from the Worlds.
Yep.
So, how you feeling right now?
Um, it's in and out. It's right now just one foot, just taking one day at a time right now.
Yep, yep.
None of this stuff will start sinking in until I'm like probably on the flight over.
Good.
Then it'll start settling in. It's
Yeah,
not. We still got some preparation to do, but
yeah,
it'll start to sink in then.
yeah. And you had time. You had time to mess around with your load up phase a little bit, so you kind of got an idea what you're gonna
Yeah,
do now, right?
yeah, definitely. I'm definitely not doing the pasta this time. I think it was just the acid from the. I don't know if they did something different with that sauce because the same sauce I used in the previous shows and stuff, and I didn't have a problem with it, but I had a problem with it this time. So, or
Yeah,
last time, I should say. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's good. That's good. So we had Masters Olympia this weekend. This has been a show, man. This has been the progress for the whole year. We've been talking about it.
yeah.
We could show up. We had a bunch of people that thought we're going to show up but didn't.
Well,
Uh,
didn't Thayer? He showed up, did he not? Steve Thayer, he did the 212.
I didn't look at 312. I got the scorecard.
He
Check
did
that
the
out.
he did the 212.
He did show up then. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there was one I can't pronounce the guy's name, but I know he's got to be just barely 45 because 45 was the cutoff. But the dude he didn't finish. He showed up and he was on stage, but
Right.
he
But
didn't
he didn't
finish
finish.
somehow. I
Yeah.
don't know if something medically happened or what, but he didn't get a score.
From what I know right now, it's still not disclosed and what happened, but he didn't finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I mean he was on stage, so we're gonna there's not too many pictures I could really find yet, but we're gonna go ahead and see what I got here. We're gonna start off with the scorecards first. Uh so basically we had Kamal in first, we had Max Charles in second, we had Klahar in third, and then we had Fred Smalls fourth, and then fifth place was Kenneth Jackson. So the
Yes.
whole lineup was pretty damn good. I thought for the top five. But I mean, the scorecard, Kamal, he stomped him, and we kind of knew that would happen. He got three. So Phil Klahar wasn't too far behind with or Max Charles was six, and Phil Klahar with eight. And I think there's a little bit of a story in why, because I mean, a lot of those poses, I think Klahar won a lot of those poses, but his midsection and his legs were kind of flattening out and stuff. And I think,
Yeah.
well, he had some issues going into the Olympia. And I'm going to get to that actually right now. So might as well tackle that right now. So he put this post up on Instagram. So it's 10 days ago. He got hospitalized,
Yeah.
strongest antibiotics ever. He had infection in his leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 4 days ago, before the Olympia, he just stopped those antibiotics, and you can see the leg that had
Yes.
the
Yeah.
problem on
You definitely can see it.
it. And the antibiotics messed up his midsection. So, but the guy, he still went there and he scored third, which is really, really impressive.
That is impressive, especially being 60.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so he just sat down. He told the public what happened. He said, "I'm just getting ready for the Olympia now. That's the next step. Taking a little break, going to the Olympia." So
Yeah.
he won an open show this year. So
Yeah.
uh, I mean, in my opinion,
40 he won a 40 division show. He won a Masters 40 show.
yeah, 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 he did. He won the Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa. Yeah, Tampa's Masters. The thing is about, I mean, I think what won this show is conditioning. Kamal, I mean, Kamal shows up the same every time. I don't think he's ever really off. Uh, uh, but Klahar, man, he had him. I mean, he had the best back up there.
And he's fairly balanced. There's nothing really
Yeah,
weak on uh on Kamal, So he's pretty balanced. His midsection is always pretty tight. Mm. So
oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I don't know why it's not playing. Uh, Yeah, that was the only thing about him. But I mean, he was pretty complete everywhere, and that's how he won it. Max Charles looked great. I thought that was one of his best looks he's had so far too. But
Yeah.
Lahart, obviously he had some medical issues. He could have came in a lot better. We had the 212 champ. I can't pronounce this guy's name. I'm gonna go over to here. Uh, uh, Hidetaka Yamagishi.
Yeah, Yamagishi. I just call
So
him just Yamagishi. Yeah.
yeah, so we were talking about him the other day. Actually, I haven't heard of him. He was he was gas sponsor. He was sponsored by Gasp or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's an old school bodybuilder. He came back and did that. Has he done any shows since then? Like, when's the last time he did a show? Do you know?
It's been a while.
Been a
Now,
while.
so here's the deal. It's got Steve Thayer placing fourth,
Yeah,
but when I looked at the videos and stuff, he wasn't in that top five lineup.
really?
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't in the top five lineup. If you take a look at the 212 top five lineup, Steve is
Yeah.
not in there.
Huh. We're gonna get a picture of the top five. Oh, I just got open. There's top five for open. But yeah, Kamal's the smallest guy up there though, but he just he was just shredded to the
Yeah,
bone.
yeah. It's it's his conditioning, it's his balance,
Yeah.
and and he's and they're all veterans because you got one guy that's 60 years old up there and stuff. But I mean, he's been doing it. He's had a lot of stage time, and he really knows that stage, and he knows how to pose really, really, really well.
He does, yeah. He does. Yeah. So he's qualified for the upcoming Olympia too, isn't he, Kamal?
Yeah, he was up, but he was already qualified for that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah. And so Klahar is gonna be there also. Let me see if I can find it 212. I don't know why this page ain't wanting to work.
I know. So, yeah, I saw a video of it, and I didn't see it there. Yeah, that's
I
one of the
haven't
first things I was looking for.
I haven't either. I haven't seen him. Yes, I don't know why it's just doing that. It's not wanting to show the video.
No, yeah, okay, I got it.
Well, I would like to know what happened with Joshua Lenardowicz from Australia. Says yeah,
Australia, yeah,
says
yeah,
DNF
didn't finish.
didn't finish. So I wonder what happened with him.
Yeah, it could be a number of things,
Because I
So
seen photos, he was on stage.
yeah, I'm not gonna speculate. Now, of course, there are a number of things that you can probably take down to a short list, but
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah,
It may be bodybuilding related, maybe something entirely different, maybe totally unrelated to bodybuilding
yeah,
or prepping, the preparation.
yeah. It's too bad though. Go all the way that way. Yeah, you could see Klahara was watching his face during a lot of it too, and he was not feeling it. He had trouble with the flight. I guess he had trouble with getting his passport to get over there too, and it
Yeah,
cost a buttload of money to get over there too. He said,
yeah,
but he showed up, man. That's an inspiration right there.
that's pretty good. Really
Yeah,
good.
but anyway, it was a pretty impressive show. Hey, look at these back shots though. I mean, Klahar, look at the size of his back.
This is probably one of the places where Clahar got a um Shogi because he doesn't his taper is not that his waist because his waist is a little thick.
Yeah,
He's got a fairly wide back, but his waist is kind of thick too, so you're not really seeing that flare like you
yeah,
can with Clahar.
yeah, yeah. No, you can't. No. And Charles too. He's got a pretty good back lat spread too. He's got the width, but geez, he's just like big difference in size. But again, they're looking for
Conditioning,
size symmetry and conditioning,
yeah,
and Kamal,
conditioning will take you places.
Kamal had it. So, and that's what did it. I know when we first started talking about the Olympia, he was the runner up. I thought Klahar would actually be. I thought he was the runner up.
Actually, on this side chest, I think Klahar's legs actually look thicker than both of theirs.
Right, right. Yeah, he had him beat on a lot of shots. And we're one thing I was looking at too is the side chest of Kamal compared to Max Charles. Max Charles got a good side chest.
Yes.
And I think a lot of it, he's just rotating that shoulder out towards the audience just a
Well,
little
I
bit.
think I think Klahar's got a pretty good side chest too. But if you notice, their front delta is that front deltoid on the far side is pushed a lot farther forward, so you can see more of that chest.
Yes, yes,
Whereas with Khashoggi, he's almost straight up and down, and it makes him look a lot narrower.
yes,
And
yeah,
it against maybe other 212s or someone close to his size, it'd probably be pretty impressive. But against these guys, but they're inherently bigger anyway, and they got naturally broader shoulders.
yeah.
But yeah,
But he beat him.
yeah, he
He beat
did.
him. I mean, these are one of the side chest actually, and the back lat spread was one of the only two poses that I seen that he didn't have compared to the other two. There's a side tricep, and he looks
Yeah,
pretty good on that.
I see the other two. Clark Shogi is doing he's doing a standard. He's doing a traditional side tricep, whereas the other two they're doing that angled type of side
Yeah,
tricep. I guess to kind of bring out their quads a little bit more. They
yeah,
want to show a little bit more quad detail. But
yeah.
I like to stick to just that traditional side tricep.
Which okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I noticed with Max Charles, that was one of his. He looks better from the side than he does from the front with his quads. Let me see if I can bring it. I mean, because look at the quads from the front. So he would have been better off doing the side tricep the standard because you know what I'm saying. At least that's what I kind of seen.
Yeah.
I thought he looked better from the side anyway. So in that particular pose, he would have been better off doing it the traditional way, I think. So he could show off the hamstring and tie in and all that because he has all that, but just from the front, he's kind of soft looking. At least that he might not be in the pose right there either, though, too. But
Yeah, yeah, it definitely. Yeah, looks like they're not quite in a pose. This is a pretty. This is telling what you're looking at the detail from the top and the bottom. Actually, I like Klahar's looking pretty impressive here.
yeah, I think Clohara had all the back shots. Might be honest. That's what I thought. I mean, Kamal, I would say yes, but he just doesn't. He's kind of too blocky, and it's because he's short. He doesn't have that X frame as much,
Right, right,
and
right.
that's the only thing. If he had a smaller waist, yeah, there'd be no questions asked. But he doesn't.
Yeah,
He's shredded to the bone, like
yeah,
it's just his
yeah,
genetics. But
yeah.
but that was the only thing I see. He just doesn't have that X factor as much. So, but I mean, he's look at the detail on his back though. Still, I mean, and the calves and yeah, even the glutes. So he's got the detail.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get down here and find the 212 because I think there was more pictures. Here's 212 here.
Yeah, this one, yeah, it's between him and Derek. Well, I don't know what Henry got. I think Henry got like third or fourth or something like that, but where
That's
was
classic. That's classic. Okay, so yeah, David Henry
yeah,
got second.
David Henry got second, and from what I've seen just from the videos and stuff, I think they penalized him on his gut because if you take a look at if you see the back double on if you see the back shots, the back double on biceps,
Mm-hmm.
Derek clearly he clearly had uh he clearly had the first place guy.
Really, I'm
Yeah,
gonna try to
he
tap
did
back
he
into
did.
this Instagram again here. I don't know why it wasn't working, but let's see here if we get some pictures.
Mm.
Okay, so we're looking for 212. There we go. Oh, that's a classic. Is that classic or is that
No,
212?
that's 212.
That's 212, yeah. Now, why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. It does that sometimes, just doesn't want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's not going to. Well, try to blow that picture up a little bit, but it's not going to let me for some reason.
Right.
What'd you think about the classic, though?
I think it went the way it should have gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Go down here to
There's
class.
there's no ifs ands or buts. This guy's got some crazy uh
Right.
lines and symmetry. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, he really
that's
does.
that's
He really
pretty
does.
that's pretty that's pretty impressive.
And
Really
he
is
must
nice.
be barely 45, right? He doesn't look that old to me.
Well, that's the additional that's the final wheel in the genetic factor when it comes to bodybuilding is how well you age. And when you go to masters bodybuilding, you gotta consider that additional factor.
Yeah.
And that factor is how well you age.
Yeah.
And like I said, just because some guys and gals, they do great, in the 20s and 30s, doesn't necessarily translate to 40s and 50s.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, he looked pretty good, man. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Uh, they had pretty much all the events. They had wellness there. They had women's bodybuilding. They had women's figure.
They had them all
They
there.
had
Yeah,
everything there. So I mean, I wonder what the turnout was like. I wonder if all the seats were filled or because there was $220,000 on the table, right, for all the divisions.
something like that. Yeah.
So I think men's open got 20, I think 20,000 for the winner. Uh, I think it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what probably men's physique and everything else got probably 10,000. I would assume. I don't know that guy. But yeah, anyway, that was a pretty impressive show. I hope we have it next year. It might be something I'll strive to do one day if it's in the United States. Uh, yeah, so that was a success, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would say it was under the circumstances of how they did it and where it's located, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Location was the only bad part, but
I still think I think the way the corporate structure is seeing it, they're just putting their toe in the water still.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if I don't know if they're ready to go all in on this Masters Olympic, but it had a nice turnout, and I think
it did
it'll
have a
only
nice
go
turnout.
up.
And if they made the money off, they had the seats filled and people watching the pay-per-views, then that's going to determine on whether it's going to happen again, right?
Yeah,
And whether
yeah. But
the
like I
prize money
said,
might be different.
I think the only way I would actually really get involved is it has to go down to age.
Yeah,
They'd have to break it down like that. But I think eventually that will happen, but that's not going to happen right away. I don't think
right now,
that's going to
no.
happen for like a few years.
Well, and I think the good thing is now we ran it through. There was some big names in there, and so that and people are IFBB pros are getting older now, so and some of them might want to retire, and they might just want to go into Masters. You know what I mean, and get off the open. You know what I mean. I
Yeah,
think there's a better chance next year of having bigger names in there, and even better competitors.
but
And then better in the years to come.
and pro masters bodybuilding and stuff. Yes, it's pro, so that there's prize money, but at that point, it's not so much about the money at that point.
No, 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 no.
You've got some people, they're not quite ready to hang up the trunks, and they still have a lot of good genetic material, to be competitive, and but not against, their much younger peers, and so that's with me. Yes, I've had some price, but I'm not making a living off of masters
No.
bodybuilding and stuff. I do it because I still love it, and 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 I'm just not ready to quit yet. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's not really it's not all that. Maybe if you're a young man and you got a lot of potential, a lot of it is going to be motivated towards money, but it's just like yeah, it's a plastic trophy, but that trophy means the world to you though.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
you earn it.
but like I said, but for me, being a gym owner, it's part of my bona fides.
Yeah, yeah, it's your
I'm a
brand.
gym owner. I'm a trainer.
Yeah,
And these wins, they do pad my resume.
yep, they sure do. Yeah,
So yes,
yeah, yeah. In your situation, it's a necessity because yeah, you've had clients for you've got multiple clients you've had for over 30 years, and there's a reason for that, and that's your brand. Like you said before, it's your brand.
absolutely.
So you got to do your thing, and that's just it. Now, do you think so Kamal's got the title now. He's going to have to defend it next year, obviously. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see any reason why he wouldn't unless he got hurt or
I don't
and,
see the ring because I mean, like I said, it's part of his bona fides. It's part of his legacy.
yeah.
You know?
So, now the next question is how long can he hold the title for?
I
Cuz
you know I
good.
just I don't see especially if it just became a 50 division. I mean, I just don't see anybody anytime soon. Maybe dethrone him. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
And all the people that have beaten him before and stuff, they're all much younger than he is. They're not competing. They're not competing masters.
Yeah.
They're in their 30s and late 20s and
Now, what if
maybe
they
late
lowered it
30s.
down to 40 instead of 45? That would change things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would change some things and stuff. My deal is with these competitors. Well, I mean, it's the Masters Olympia, so I mean, anybody would. What I'm saying is, would they make the investment, to get in it? And
Yeah.
apparently, based on the turnout that they had, and just looking at the roster that you just came up with the scorecard, that was a fairly decent turnout.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It really
That was
was
a
a
pretty
good
decent
turnout. Yeah.
turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was maybe 4 or 5 guys that were added to that list since last time we went over the list on the channel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's yeah, it was. I thought it was a really good turnout, and a bunch of those guys did some pre-shows to warm up. Phil Kahar, one of them, was Kamal. Kamal was in the Arnold too, wasn't he?
He may have been.
Man, I think he was in the Arnold.
He may have been.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's been I think it went great, and I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go really well, and I just wish they need to move it over here, or not in Romania.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I think the vast majority of the athletes, they were from the U.S. So,
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. So
but they had a lot of people that weren't from the U.S. So, I mean,
I got to bring that back up. I want to see how many people were from the U.S. In comparison. That's kind of interesting. I'd like to see that. Oh, check that out real quick here. I think it says where they're from. Oh, go to scorecards.
well, yeah, scorecards. It says where they're from.
All right, go up to so there's open. So we got Russia, we got Czech Republic, we got United States, we got United States, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 contestants that were from the United States. So
Mm-hmm.
there's only a handful from uh uh
So, well over half of the field.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's enough in itself right there to kind of, kind of maybe make it over here in the States. I mean, I imagine they probably just took a venue. I think the lady that started the venue, I don't remember her name. She's an IFBB pro. You remember we were
Uh-huh.
talking about that? She's from there, Romania. And
Okay.
that's why the venue was there. They chose the venue there. It was because the promoter was from there. So that's why that happened.
Well,
But
they got out of the way, and they're probably doing a little after action review and marking out all the pluses and minuses
yeah.
and what's gonna how it's gonna move forward and stuff. So I don't. We'll probably know right around about the beginning of the year. I can't remember when the schedule comes out. I think the schedule comes out like in March or something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, for the year or something.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah. So in the coming week, we should probably find out whether it was a success money wise. I mean, because it boils down to money. I mean, they're not going to do it if they didn't make the money off of it.
Well,
So
the family members of the competitors from the U.S. they weren't there.
yeah, exactly.
That's for sure.
So and were the seats filled? It was a big arena. I know that. I mean,
Well, Romain they really love bodybuilding though.
do they really?
Yeah, they so it could have been a fairly decent turnout,
Okay.
and it looked like the athletes were looking really good.
Oh yeah,
As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised to find some of them at the Worlds.
really? Who
Why
you?
not?
Well, Rusty will probably be there, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure Rusty will be there.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty sure Rusty will be there.
yeah. You're right. You're probably right. Yeah, you're gonna probably gonna see a couple people over there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're going to see some people from the Worlds.
Why wouldn't they?
At
I mean, it's just a week
yeah,
away. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That
know. I
makes
don't
sense.
see any reason why you wouldn't see some folks from the world,
Yeah, you're right.
Masters Olympia at the world. So
Well, let's
yeah,
pay attention to that. So,
as a yeah,
so you're going to be on stage Saturday next week,
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, Sunday next week. Sweet. That's going to be it's going to be a cool show.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be coming back in until Monday,
Tuesday.
but we're going to come up with a little plan this weekend, get a show out.
Right,
Uh, that was the plan, right?
right,
Get
right,
my
right.
info
So
out
yeah,
there.
I'll be back Tuesday.
All right. I think maybe me and Dan will say our piece in it or something like that. Dan couldn't make.
Okay.
We're gonna have a new guy showing up here in the podcast
Yes,
soon.
Mr. Sharp.
Dan, he couldn't made it today, but he's a good friend of ours and he loves this stuff too. So anyway, you're gonna see a new face coming up. He's got a pretty face. So so anyway, stay tuned
Yes.
for that, you guys. Well, I think that's all we got for tonight, man.
All right now.
Yeah, let's we gotta check up on you next week and see how you're doing and
Yep.
uh good luck on those
And
on that world, man.
and as much as I was looking, I just don't do progress pics. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I
That's
do
your MO.
not do progress pics.
Yeah,
I just don't.
that's your MO. And I get it
It is what
because
it is.
even when I'm that close, I don't feel like doing it anyway. I just don't have the energy to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, now I'm about to really deplete on these carbs and stuff. I'm fairly
Yeah,
flat right now, so I'm gonna really just suck it down a little bit more and start filling up about Thursday.
Thursday.
It'll take me about 3 days, 2 days of heavy loading, and then that day before it's just really light. You know, don't want a lot of food and stuff in my stomach. So yeah.
So
But
you
one of the things I wanted is with Derrick Henry. I mean, that was a pretty that was there's definitely some things that Henry had over the winter.
yeah, yeah.
But the thing about it is this: he just wasn't controlling his gut, and I think the judges they punished him for it. So
Okay.
yeah,
He wasn't sucking it in.
it was really, if you take a look at some of the pics and stuff, you go to some of the other sites and take a look. Yeah, it was. But other than that, I thought he looked really, really, really solid.
Huh.
I mean, at a leaker, I had Henry probably doing, but like I said, um, Sheeta, he came in really, really, really. He was pretty conditioned,
Yeah.
but I thought his back, maybe he took a little bit too much from it because there was just a little bit of sagging skin. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And Henry's back was just bubbly and the whole 9 yards and stuff. If you can check out some of the other photos and stuff, and check it out, that was a pretty close call. But
Huh.
but yeah, I know. I heard a few other commentaries, talk about it and stuff. So, but yeah, but
Huh.
congrats.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations to all the contestants.
Yes.
That's something for the history books there. So we're gonna start the Masters Olympia again. I'm excited. Work Masters competitors, so of course that's what I'm looking to do someday. So
Yep. Yeah, I'm
uh,
standing my lane on this one. I'm gonna stick with. I'm doing the 212 and open in the 60.
well, you got a title to defend.
Right, 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 right. So yeah, I want them. I want them. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm pretty light right now. So
Yeah, you are. You
yeah,
are.
but
You're very very lean. I don't. I said it last show. When I seen you the other day, I don't know that I've seen you this lean before. You were lean last time. You're way leaner now.
the California show, Di, she taught me the California show was just basically a tune up,
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah,
to for this right here,
yeah,
to get going. So I've been dieting most of the year now.
yeah.
But even though I didn't take the results, well at all, but yeah, but we'll see if I can make that up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys didn't know he won the worlds last year, so he is the defending champion right now.
Yep, 212. I was the 212 and open over 60.
Yeah,
I'm doing them both again, so we'll see.
nice. So that's gonna be exciting. I will be watching that show. I'm gonna be getting that one on pay-per-view. So
Yep. Yes.
I'll be right there
Absolutely.
with you. Maybe you can hear me.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Check up on Donnie and see how the world is going, and get some results from that. And you guys stay classy.
Yep,
Thanks for watching.
absolutely.
Have a good night.
All right, man.